Okay, let's go. So today is our fifth week. We are in our fifth week. We are almost finishing the course. So I hope you are doing great with the units. I think you are. I'm just trying to catch up with the activities, but it has been kind of complicated for me. But I'm promising you. I'm reviewing your activities. So don't worry, I'm gonna do it, and I'm gonna finish them. So today is our fifth week. Let's start with the program for today. So today, as all the other Tuesdays, we're gonna have our goal. Then we're gonna talk about a little bit about the last week topics, the units that you finished or you must have finished the last week. Then we're gonna do a practical activity, which you already know what we're gonna do, like remembering or trying to use all the things that you learned in the units that were the objective for this week. Then we're gonna have a space for doubts. Then we're gonna talk about the next week activities. We're gonna do a summing up, and we're gonna have again a space for doubts. And today we're gonna also talk a little bit more about academic integrity, and also we're gonna have I don't know, 5 minutes. I hope we have time to do that for you to answer the opinión estudiantil on Blackboard. Okay, so let's start. Our goal, as you already know, is not a specific goal because units usually cover a lot of topics or more topics than we can cover on an hour. So we will make a summary about all the topics the students worked on in Unit 6, 7, and 8 on the Cambridge platform. So for today or for this week, you had to you had yes you must have completed, sorry, the unit 6, the unit 7, and the unit 8 topics on the Cambridge platform. So today we're going to review all the topics that you saw on these units. Let's start. So last week we covered unit 4 and unit 5. These were our program for last week. As we already know, on Unit 4, we had 3 lessons, or we have 3 lessons. Lesson 1, favorite things. Lesson 2, my phone is my world. And Lesson 4, grade 5 stars. I think that the most important topic that you learned on this unit was simple present statements. That was the grammar topic that you worked on Unit 4. Also, another grammar topic that you reviewed on Unit 4 was adjectives before nouns and the use of the articles a and. In terms of vocabulary, you learn technology vocabulary. Okay, so those were the main topics on the Unit 4. Then for Unit 5, you have again 2 lessons. Lesson 1, play your fast forward, and Lesson 2, listen to your body. And in this lesson, you learned how to talk about days and times of day, and also to telling the time. I think that we can say that the vocabulary for this unit was mainly about temporal expressions, not just a vocabulary for days and times of the day, but also phrases to talk about time or to express time in a sentence. So you learn how to tell about time. For example, I don't know, I remember on Saturdays, in the morning, in the afternoon, at night, on weekends, on weekdays, and those kind of expressions. And in terms of grammar, you again reviewed some of the simple present, how to construct a simple present statement. Not only in its affirmative form, but also in its question form. So I think this was the main, as I told you last Tuesday, the main point of the Unit 4 and Unit 5 was to learn how to talk about the present. Today we're gonna talk again about the present because we have to contrast the simple present with the present continuous, which was one of the main topics of the unit A7, if I'm not wrong, that we have to answer for today's class. Okay, so these were the main topics of Unit 4 and Unit 5. For this week, you have to answer Unit 6, Unit 7, and Unit 8. Let's start with Unit 7. Okay, each of these units were divided or are divided in 2 lessons. In the Unit 7, you have Lesson 1 and Lesson 2. Lesson 1 is a good time call, and Lesson 2 is texting on the run. The main points of Unit 7 were, Unit 6, good places and city life and wildlife. So for this unit, the main points, again, I realized that units, usually, we can divide units into two main activities: the vocabulary activity or the vocabulary learning, and then the grammar learning. Then you have some spaces for practice, usually vocabulary practice, grammar practice. Then you have the reading section and the listening section, sections which ask you to practice with the grammar and the vocabulary you learned on the unit. So as we can divide the unit into sections, we can say that in this unit, you learn vocabulary to talk about places in cities or places in the city. We're going to review the vocabulary. And then to talk about nature. You learn some vocabulary about nature. In terms of grammar, in Unit 6, you learned 2 grammar topics. To say or to use there is and there are, that in Spanish we can translate as hay. And then you learn also how to use some, a lot of, and no. In this case, we can say it, to use these adverbs because they are kind of adverbs. And in the second lesson, you learn how to work or how to structure a phrase with a count and uncountable nouns. You learn the nature of these nouns, and you also learn some features or some grammatical features about count and uncountable nouns. In Unit 7, you have again a vocabulary part in which you learn activities around the house. I think that this was very important because you learn some phrases about some specific phrases to talk about the activities you usually do in your house, or the activities that you daily do in your house. You learn some vocabulary for transportation, and in terms of grammar, that I think it's the most important part of the Unit 7, was present continuous statements, how to work or how to construct, how to structure a present continuous tense in English. And they also, or in the platform, you also find out an explanation about the difference between the present continuous and the present. Which are the difference, or how do we use the present simple or the simple present, and how do we use the present continuous tense. Then at the end of this unit, in the, if I'm not wrong, the reading section or the speaking section, I don't remember well enough, you learn how to use also and to, the position of also and to, and how to use it. Okay. Then for the Unit 8, you have again 2 lessons. The first lesson was she likes music, but she can't dance. And then in lesson 2, you learn the lesson 2 was called Happy Workers Are Great Workers. The main points. In terms of vocabulary, you learn verbs to describe skills. And this was very important because, of course, as you were going to work with can and can't in terms of ability, I think that also this is very important because you work 2 meanings of can and can't. When we try to talk about, or we talk about abilities, we can use can and can't. Abilities in the past and abilities in the present, but in this case you focus on the present tense. But you can also use the past form of can and can't to talk about ability in the past. For example, couldn't and could. But we are not going to talk about that because we are going to focus on the can and can't in the present tense to talk about ability. But you also learn how to use can and can't to talk about possibilities. These are called modals: can, mustn't, might, mightn't, should, shouldn't, couldn't. In grammatical in English grammar, they call it modals. In Spanish, we can also call them modales, verbos modales. And the important thing about them is that they add this kind of meaning to the sentence. For example, in this case, when you learn to use can and can't, you learn how to create a meaning inside the sentence that means ability or possibility. For example, she can't dance, which is the sentence that you have there. Ella no puede bailar. And the translation in Spanish also transmit the meaning of ability. Cuando decimos ella no puede bailar, she can dance, what we are saying is that she doesn't have the ability to dance. She can dance. She doesn't have that ability. And with possibility, you have another kind of situations. For example, she can be here. We can say something like that. She can be here. When in Spanish also we can say that she can be here. Ella puede estar aquí. What we are saying in that sentence is not, we are not talking about an ability, because we are not saying that she is able to be here, que ella está capacitada para estar aquí. No, simplemente estamos hablando de la posibilidad de que ella se quede en este lugar. She can be here means something like she has two options. She can be here or she can go. Whichever option is valid or is possible. But we are talking about possibilities. She can be here is the possibility that she stays here in the place. So I think this is very important for you to understand. Can for ability, can and can't. Well, the affirmative form can and the negative form can't to talk about ability or possibility. And then in the second lesson, you learn some vocabulary to talk about work. Okay, we're gonna practice with this. We're gonna try to remember and try to recover all the things that you learn in Unit 5, in Unit 6, Unit 7, and Unit 8. I'm gonna ask you to help me with Unit 8 because I didn't review all the unit because I didn't have time. But I think that we can cover that unit with the knowledge you got while you were working with these activities. Okay. So I'm asking you, or I'm gonna ask you to go again to the you already know this, to the slides, to the presentation. Just let me share with you the link so you can go there. Okay, there you have the link. So please enter to the document. And we're going to start, of course, with Unit 6. Okay, places in cities, nature, and phrases with there is, there are, and count and uncountable nouns. Okay. And let's go to slide 9 and let's go to Unit 6. Okay, first of all, I want you to recover or to try to remember all the vocabulary you learned in this unit. Places in cities and nature, okay? Try to cover all the vocabulary that you learned in that unit. Let me just change my... Okay, thank you very much. Exactly, nature. And we are gonna also try to classify the nouns between countable and uncountable nouns. City, town, museum, excellent, cinema. But did you learn the word cinema or did you learn other words? Movie theater, exactly. Movie theater. Very good. Voy a decir, I'm gonna say the words in Spanish, so you try to remember the words in English, okay? For example, you also learn how to say supermercado, colegio o universidad, excellent, supermarket, college, thank you very much. Como dicen, in Spanish we said centros comerciales, pero no son solamente centros comerciales, plaza comercial, más bien, plaza comercial. Ajá. Mall, exactly. Thank you very much. Mall. Parque, escuela, park, school, exactly. We also learn how to say tienda. Y hubo varias, you found out some other words that have the word store. For example, como decimos tienda de ropa, tienda de libros, clothing, remember, clothing store, bookstore, thank you very much, bookstore. Okay, another kind of words like hospital, hotel, café, excellent, café, hospital, café, hotel, thank you very much. Okay, which other? About city life and wildlife. Okay, this is about places in the city. Okay, this is about places in the city. Let's go with nature because you also learn vocabulary about nature. We're gonna try to write in another chart, in another text chart. I'm gonna say again this in Spanish and try to remember the word in English. For example, playa. How do we say playa in English? Beach. Thank you very much. Isla. Isla, island. Excellent. How do we say río? Río. River. Thank you. River. Bosque. Well, not bosque, but selva. Selva, forest, exactly, thank you. Rainforest, very good, excellent. Forest is the word like bosque, or something like that. Rainforest, selva. Desierto, pasto. Desert, grass, thank you. Montaña, mountain, exactly. We also say, ya dijimos, lago, otra palabra que por allá aprendieron, lago. Lake, excellent. Planta, flor, plants, flower, or flowers. Thank you very much. Then let's go to the other slide. We're gonna practice grammar here. Okay, I want you to write some sentences where we are gonna use there is and there are a lot of and some of. Okay. Remember, let's check grammar. How do we say in English? Hay un museo en mi ciudad. There's a museum, exactly, in my city. Thank you very much. How do we say hay tres árboles cerca del río? Son frases que encontraron en la lección. These kind of phrases you found out in the lesson, okay? There are 3 trees near the river. Excellent, thank you very much. There are 3 trees in the river. Excellent. Just remember, R doesn't have any accent. Excellent. How do we say it? Hay muchas buenas películas en el cine. There are a lot of great movies in the Okay, in the theater, theater is teatro. How do we say cine with theater? Movie, movie theater, in the movie theater. Exactly. There are a lot of great movies. Mobiles. I think you have the autocorrector in Spanish, so that's why you have that kind of problem. Muy bien, thank you very much. How do we say? Hay algunos grandes parques. There are some big parks. Thank you. Excellent. There are some big parks. Okay, let's go with countable and uncountable nouns because I really want to go there. Let's work like in a chart. Let me just see if we can say we can do that. Yes. Okay, we have this here, this chart. And in the first one, you're gonna write countable and then uncountable nouns. Okay, so please, in the first chart, countable nouns, and in the second, uncountable nouns. Well, in the first column, countable nouns, and in the second column, uncountable nouns. Water, uncountable noun. Thank you very much. Air, money, okay, money, sand, countable nouns. Remember that you had some examples or some words that you classify as countable and uncountable in the lesson or in the unit. Cars, books, students. Thank you. Sugar, uncountable noun. It's like in Spanish. No, sustantivos contables y no contables. Cosas que podemos contar con la mano, eh, por dar una definición, y cosas que obviamente no podemos cortar porque no podemos dividir. Water is not we cannot divide water into portions. Of course we can do it, but with another object. For example, I don't know, a glass or something like that. Thank you. And someone wants to explain me what's the characteristic or the main feature of countable and uncountable nouns, because in the lesson you learn the difference, but which is the difference? Who wants to speak in English the difference between countable and uncountable nouns? For example, in terms of forms, countable nouns. I don't want to give you the answer because I don't think this is a good idea, but let's remember the okay, Claudia?
Okay, thank you. Do you listen?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Yes, about the forms, the uncountable, when you say like there's water in the glass, you don't say there's waters in the glass.
Exactly.
You just say there's water. And with the countables, you say there's an apple or there are 3 apples in the table. That's
Thank
the
you very
main
much.
feature.
And we can make a summary about that. Countable nouns have plural and singular forms. Remember that. And uncountable nouns don't have those forms. We have only one form to talk about this, the thing or the mass. For example, water, as Claudia said, water doesn't have a plural form. We don't say, in any case, waters. Always we are talking about water. It's the same with air, with coffee, with milk, with sugar, with oil, snow. You also learn that snow is a uncountable noun. Rain. Countable nouns, by the contrary, they have a plural and a singular form. Car, cars. Book, books. Student, students. Kid, kids. School, schools. Number, numbers. And of course, you also have irregular nouns, as for example, man and man, woman and women, child, children. Which other? Well, I don't remember. But you also have those kind of food, feet, exactly. Tooth, teeth. Mouse, miss. Thank you very much. Because you have irregular nouns, okay, in which you have a singular form or a specific singular form, and then a specific form for the plural noun or for the plural, yes, for the plural noun. Okay, thank you. Let's go with Unit 8 because if not, we're not gonna finish. Unit 7, sorry, Unit 7. Let's start again in the first slide with vocabulary. Help me with the vocabulary about, first of all, activities in the house. And those phrases are very important for us because you have to remember that in this case, you have to structure the sentence with the phrase. For example, let's think about do homework. With homework, you are always going to use do. I'm doing my homework. I will do my homework. It's not correct to use another verb. For example, make homework. That's not correct. Or they can understand you, but it's not the verb that you usually use with with that activity. Do the homework. Okay. Sweat, watch TV, listen to music. I'm gonna say it in Spanish, and I want you to write the phrase. How do we say lavarse los dientes? Okay, brush my teeth, thank you. Lavarse el cabello, peinarse el cabello, perdón, peinarse el cabello. Brush your hair. ¿Cómo decimos cocinar la cena? Cook dinner o cocinar el desayuno. Cook breakfast. Thank you very much. Bañarse. Acuérdense que ya tenemos dos. Cuando nos bañamos en la tina y cuando nos bañamos en la regadera. ¿Cuál sería el de bañarse en la regadera y cuál sería el de bañarse en la tina? Take a bath. Take a shower. Thank you. Take a bath. Take a shower. Do the dishes. Okay, thank you very much. And limpiar mi cuarto, limpiar la cocina, clean my room, or clean the room. It's okay. Clean the kitchen. Thank you very much. And the other kind of vocabulary that you learned in this unit was about transportation. And I also think that it is very important for us to remember phrases about transportation. Transportation vocabulary is kind of easy. Bus, train, subway, etc. But phrases. How do we say esperar en la parada del bus? Esperar en la parada de la estación. Esperar en la parada, en la parada de la estación. En la parada del tren. Esperar en la palabra del metro, por ejemplo. Wait at the bus stop. Pero utilizamos wait. Of course, we can use wait, but the usual verb that we use in this kind of phrases is be. Remember, be at the bus stop. Be at the train station. Be at the subway station. Yeah. And the other phrases. How do we say? Yo estoy en el tren. Estoy en el autobús. Estoy en el metro. I'm on the train. I'm in or on. In or on. I am on. Remember that you learned that be on the subway, be on the train, Be on the bus. Okay, be on. Sorry, I just have a missed call. Okay. And the last one, which is tomar el tren, tomar el autobús, tomar el metro. Take. Exactly. We use the verb take. To take the bus, to take the train, to take the subway. Thank you very much. Now let's go with grammar. In the next slide, you are gonna write present continuous. We don't have time to do a lot of things, so just write present continuous as in phrases, structure present continuous sentences with the phrases or the verbs that you learn in the vocabulary section. Activities, daily activities on the house, and activities with the transportation. So go to this slide. It's a black one because it's a white black. It's a white one, please. Is slide number 12? Slide 12. Not in with we say a unit 8. This is not this one. This one. Thank you. And there you can write some phrases with present continuous. First I want phrases in affirmative present continuous. Peter and Tom are watching TV in the living room. Thank you very much. And you're using, of course, the vocabulary that you learned in previous units. I don't know, another kind of, for example, está lloviendo, está nevando, porque eso también ya lo pueden decir. Está lloviendo, está nevando. Estoy limpiando mi cuarto. It is snowing. Be careful there. It is snowing. It is snowing. It's snowing. Okay, it's snowing. Más frases. Está lloviendo, está nevando. Estoy visitando a mis hermanos. Estoy visitando a mi tía. Estoy comiendo la cena, estoy cocinando la cena, estoy tomando un baño, o ellos están tomando un baño, etc. It's raining. I'm listening to music while it's raining. Thank you very much. They are eating dinner. Exactly. My brother is washing his hair. I'm taking a shower. We are what? Visiting. They are to take. It's raining. They are taking a shower. They are taking a shower. The bus is arriving on time to the bus station. Okay. Arriving on time to the bus station. Arriving, usually we use arriving with at. Is arriving on time at the bus station. The girls are going to school. Thank you. We are visiting my grandma. Thank you very much. Now, could you create questions with those sentences? With the same sentences? Create the question form of the sentence. Thank you. Am I taking the shower? Is he doing his homework? Thank you. Is my brother washing his hair? Excellent. Is he doing all right? Excellent. Is he doing all right? Are they eating dinner? Thank you very much. Where is she going? Excellent. Where is she going? Of course, because you can use those kind of WH question words. Where is she going? What is he doing? How is he doing? How is he doing? Excellent. Could someone please tell me which is the difference according to the unit between present, simple present and present continuous? When do we use present continuous and when do we use simple present? Or in which circumstances we use simple present, and in which circumstances do we use present continuous. You can also find the present continuous as present progressive, okay, or past progressive, or those kind of names. So which is the main difference between simple present and present continuous? Claudia?
I think, if I don't remember wrong, the simple present is to talk about habits,
Habits,
like
exactly.
like on Tuesdays I usually stay at home, no?
Exactly. Exactly.
In and the other, which is continuous, it's for things that are happening at the moment and they're still
That are
happening.
happening at the moment. And you also saw a very slight difference between something that is happening right now and something that is happening around now. Could you please tell me a sentence in which this difference is evident? For example, sentences about what you are doing right now.
Mm, present simple and continuous,
in
correct?
in present continuous.
Continuous. Oh well, I am I am taking the
For
class.
example, I am taking the class. Exactly. We are listening. Exactly. We are listening to the teacher because that activity is happening right now. And an activity that is around now. Examples with an activity that is around now. Frases con ese tipo de significado. Porque les explicaban dos significados, cosas que están pasando en este momento y cosas que están pasando alrededor de este momento. Y como decían, ¿no? We are taking class, está pasando ahora. We are listening to the teacher, está pasando ahora. ¿Qué están pasando alrededor de ahora? My dog is sleeping. Okay. But that probably is happening right now. ¿Qué cosas que están
Mm,
pasando ahora? Alrededor
maybe
de
in
ahora.
future plans.
Not exactly, because that's a future tense. Do you remember an example? For example, you can
Mm,
say, I'm reading, I don't know, I'm reading a novel.
mhm.
You are not reading that in this moment. Probably you are reading the novel all the nights or at night, every day. I'm reading a novel. We are seeing it right now, not exactly because you are not seeing it right now. Right now, you use that phrase to talk about what is happening right now. Son, por ejemplo, cuando digo, yo estoy leyendo un libro, we are reading a novel, o estoy leyendo una novela, no la estoy leyendo ahora. Pero yo sé que esa actividad está ocurriendo en mi presente. A lo mejor la empecé en marzo y la voy a terminar en abril. Pero yo puedo, perdón, en diciembre. Pero yo puedo decir, I'm reading a book with present progressive. Another kind of sentences that has the same meaning as I'm reading a novel. Actividades que están haciendo ahora, pero que suena muy raro, pero que no están haciendo exactamente ahora. He's working for a big company. Excellent. He's working for a big company because probably he's resting right now because he just went out from the company. But he's working for a big company. I don't know, since January to this December, or he's continuing working right now. He's working for a big company. That's an action that is happening around now. Another example? Él está trabajando para una compañía, yo estoy leyendo una novela. ¿Otro ejemplo que se les ocurra?
maybe I'm going to college.
I'm going to college, or I'm studying English, for example, ¿no? Ahorita lo estamos haciendo, pero justamente she's taking classes in French, or he's taking French. Excellent. I'm studying French. You are not studying French right now, but you are studying French, I don't know, in the career. Exactly. Thank you very much. Okay, let's stop here because we're not going to see all the things that we have to work on. Let's left Unit 8 for next week. Or if not, we're not gonna continue with the presentation. Okay, continue right now. We have 15 minutes left. So 7, 8. Okay, we have again another activity. I also shared with you some extra material in Blackboard platform. So I'm really asking you to try to do the extra activities. If you don't have time, it's okay. But I think it's important for you to practice more with these structures because they are very important. How to use there is and there are to talk about the existence of things. It's a very important topic for A1 A level. We are not seeing a future, past, but we are seeing the existence in the present. Okay, so this is very important topic. There are present continuous grammar topics. That's why I point out in these charts the main points, because I think you have to focus on those points. For example, in lesson 8 that we didn't see today, probably with vocabulary, we can work with vocabulary with another kind of things, like, I don't know, videos, podcasts, etc. But for the grammar, I really believe that you should try to search other exercise or try to go deeper into the grammatical structure, okay? How do we use can and can't for ability and possibility? Try to do some exercises on some extra exercises on the internet to practice these structures. Okay, any questions about the topics that you saw on these 3 units? No? Okay, everything is good? Everything is okay? No? Okay. Okay. So for next week activities, I realized that I made a mistake on the previous presentation, because on the previous presentation I should have told you that you have to answer the unit 6, the unit 7, and the unit 8, and I didn't do that. So sorry for that. So for this week, you had to work on unit 6, 7, and 8, and for the next week, for October 14, you have to deliver Unit 9 and Unit 10, which is places to go and get ready. Again, you have the instructions, or you already know the instructions. You have for each of the units 2 activities. The general activity, which is a student's course, Unit 9, places to go, and the test, the Unit 9 progress test. And then for Unit 10, again, you have 2 activities. The general activity, a student's course, Unit 10, get ready, and the test, Unit 10, progress test. And for each of these activities, you are going to have a point and 50 points, okay? So at the end of the activity, so at the end of this week, the score that you need to achieve are 2 points. 2 points for the final evaluation, okay? So en Spanish, again, para cada una de estas actividades vamos a obtener 50 décimas, puntos 50 décimas o puntos 5 puntos, medio punto, para cada una de estas actividades, que son 4, y entonces al final de esta semana vamos a tener que obtener 2 puntos, ¿sí? Y otra vez les pido una disculpa en español porque me di cuenta que justamente en la presentación anterior, estas son las unidades que les tenían que haber pedido, 6, 7 y 8, y la 9 y la 10 serán para esta semana, ¿vale? Pero no pasa nada, digo, la verdad es que muchos se han adelantado, entonces me van ganando, y algunos creo que van hasta en la 12. Está bien, pero también tengan en consideración que no las voy calificando tan así, pero ya muchos van hasta en la 12, creo que ya se acabaron el curso, ¿no? Entonces, Not exactly, because I have to check. I have to check the final tasks. So don't worry about it. When I finish of scoring those activities, then you are gonna get your final grade. But at this moment, you have only the grade of the main activities, or the automatical the yes the automatized activities. Which final tasks? Usually writing tasks and speaking tasks, que son los que les piden al final de algunas lecciones.
They are in the platform, right? We already answered.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes,
Sorry.
you already answered. So I'm just have to check. I just have to check those activities, and then you are gonna get your final grade.
Ah, okay, great. Thank you so much.
But only those activities, okay? Only those activities, writing tasks and speaking tasks.
So you are going to add those grades to our average, the average we got at Cambridge.
Exactly.
That's great.
En español, ustedes, la plataforma les evalúa las actividades automáticas, las que se evalúan automáticamente. Todo lo que hacen en general en la plataforma, seleccionar determinadas palabras, ordenar palabras, escuchar los audios, contestar las preguntas, todo eso lo evalúa la plataforma. Lo único que yo evalúo son los final tasks, ya sea el writing task, la tarea de escritura, o el speaking tasks, que es la tarea para hablar. Entonces, en general, lo que obtienen ahí sí es su calificación, solamente se les agrega o se les añade esa calificación que yo les pongo en esas tareas. Pero solamente son esas tareas. Todo lo demás lo evalúa automáticamente la plataforma. Es lo que les estoy comentando, ¿no? Todo lo que escoger palabras, ordenar palabras, completar oraciones, todas esas cositas que hacen en la plataforma, eso lo evalúa la plataforma. Ya lo que les pide después al final, eso ya lo voy evaluando yo, ¿sí? Pero solamente es eso, todo lo demás ya está evaluado. Nada más es eso lo que yo tengo que evaluarles. Y en realidad, si se dan cuenta, las actividades que les he evaluado no les aumentan mucho ni les bajan la calificación, porque solamente se les agrega a la calificación global que ya obtuvieron con lo que se evalúa automáticamente. ¿Vale? Any doubts about this? Or any questions about this? What I just explained? Nothing? Okay, good. Someone please help me with the summary for the activities for the next week. What do we have to do for the next week? Someone? Michelle Cruz?
Hi. We have to deliver activities 9 and 10. Each activity is worth half a point, and for both units, they're worth 2 points.
2 points, exactly. Thank you very much. So we have to deliver 4 activities, 2 for each of the units, unit 9 and unit 10. And for each unit, we have 2 activities, and each of them worth exactly a half a point or 0.50. And then at the end, you are going to get 2 points for the final score. Okay. So at the end, any questions about this, about the activities or about the platform? I also received some messages about, again, problems with the platform, and I'm telling you again, the problems within the platform or with Blackboard are not in my power. I cannot do anything about that. You have to go to systems or something like that to try to manage those errors or those problems. Madeline, do you have a question?
No. Do you have problems with the Zoom at Cambridge one? Is
with the
that
Zoom?
the problem you're talking about?
No, I'm talking about that someone of you just told me that you had problems while you are doing the exercise, and then you can deliver all the activity.
Oh
And
yes,
then when
we
you
solved
return
it.
to the platform,
We solved it.
okay,
It's the Zoom. Well, I'm going to say it
okay,
in Spanish. En
uh-huh,
la parte de arriba de sus computadoras, donde ponen las direcciones de web, tienen unos puntitos, tres puntitos del lado
uh-huh.
derecho. Si ustedes le dan clic, ahí viene una parte que dice Zoom. Bajen el Zoom porque eso le está sucediendo a la plataforma de Cambridge One, especialmente cuando
Okay.
hacemos examen. Si ustedes le bajan el Zoom, cuando hagan esos exámenes van a poder visualizar todas las actividades.
Ok, porque sí me han estado diciendo que hay problemas con la plataforma. Yo la verdad, como
Sí.
no puedo hacer los tests, yo no me he dado cuenta de esos problemas porque yo no he entrado a los tests, yo no tengo
Ah,
acceso a los tests. Entonces yo
sí,
no sé qué
sí,
pase
nos
en
dimos
esos
cuenta
tests.
de eso.
Ujú. Ok,
Entonces,
entonces es
bajando
problema
el
de
Zoom,
agrandar.
bajarle el Zoom del
Ok,
100, bájenle a un 80 cuando hagan especialmente esas actividades que se vea cortada la pantalla. Ustedes pónganle en esos tres puntitos, bajen el Zoom y en automático van a poder visualizar absolutamente todo.
ok, entonces tengan cuidado con eso porque sí. Ajá, yo no tengo acceso a eso, entonces sinceramente yo no he visto qué pasa en esa sección. Porque en la sección normal de los contenidos generales, a mí no me ha pasado ninguna de esos problemas. Pero sí me han llegado varios mensajes de que les cierra la plataforma o de que ya no les deja avanzar. Entonces, si tiene que ver con el Zoom, es ahí donde tienen que tener cuidado. ¿Vale? Okay, thank you very much. Then we have to talk about academic integrity, but we don't have much time to do this. I think we have to go to the main. Just let me take the screenshot for this one because I have to deliver this to the coordination. This one, okay, this one. And the thing that we have to take to talk in this is about the opinion estudiantil. Okay, so you have until 26 October 26th to deliver this opinion estudiantil. So I'm gonna say this in Spanish because it's very important. So les pido por favor que contesten esta evaluación estudiantil. Si la pueden hacer en estos últimos minutos que tenemos de clase, se los agradecería mucho. Lo voy a estar recordando en las siguientes sesiones. No asisten todos, pero bueno, esperemos que el mensaje de Blackboard les llegue a todos, porque es importante tener esto en cuenta, ¿vale? Entonces lo voy a dejar aquí un par de minutos. Y ya para cerrar, déjenme solamente ir acá para cerrar la clase. The world is a book, and those who do not travel read only one page, which is our phrase for today. And then I'm going to return to this opinion estudiantil. And just let me take the screenshot again. Okay, so this is all that we have to do today. So please answer the opinion estudiantil because it's a requirement from coordination. Don't forget it. I'm gonna remember also this on the next class, on the next Tuesday. So just to finish our class, do you have any questions, any doubts, or anything that you want to say today? Nothing, no questions, no comments, not anything? Okay, if not, then see you on Tuesday, and that's it. Okay, thank you very much for being here, and see you next week. Bye bye. Bye bye. Thank you. Thank you all. Have a good night. Have a good night, guys. Bye.